A very good evening to you. You're welcome to the news at 11. My name is Evan Zunokogi. The federal government has approved 5 billion naira donation to victims of the fire outbreak at the popular Singa Market in Kano, bringing relief to hundreds of traders affected by the disaster. Kano correspondent Abdul has the reports.
The fire outbreak, which occurred on Saturday at the popular Singa Market, destroyed shops, warehouse and goods worth billions of naira. Eyewitness says the fire spread rapidly, overwhelming effort by the traders to salvage their belongings before the emergency respondents arrived. The donation was announced on Monday during a sympathy visit to the market by the Vice President Kashim Shettima, days after the incident left many business owners counting their losses. The Vice President described the incident as a national tragedy, saying that the Singa market remains a major commercial hub serving Kano State and other parts of the country, assured that the affected traders of the federal government supports, pledging continued assistance to help restore livelihoods and revive economic activities.
Not only to sympathize with you over the fire outbreak at Singa Market, which has disrupted the commercial life of this great state, but to come bearing the promise of the federal government that we stand firmly with the good people of Kano at this difficult moment. President Bola Tinubu has approved the release of 5 billion naira to the government of Kano State.
Singa Market Traders Association commended the federal government for the timely intervention, assuring that the funds will be transparently and judicially used to support victims and rebuild businesses. As the recovery effort begins, the 5 billion naira intervention is expected to provide critical relief for the affected traders, helping to restore commercial activities and revive confidence in one of the Kano's oldest and busiest markets. From Kano, Abdul Ibrahim, ITV News.
The Zonal Commander, Federal Road Safety Corps, FRS Zone 5, Benin City, Assistant Corps Marshal Joseph Toby, says at the fatherly disposition of the Honorary Romanian Consul to Edo and Delta States of Nigeria, His Excellency Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Sawai Benedion, the SMA of Benin, has continued to serve as a source of encouragement to all, especially the SROFC. The FROS Zonal Commander stated this while on a courtesy visit to the Patriarch in Benin City. Pius Nsowo has the details.
The Assistant Corps Marshal, FRC, Joseph Toby, said following his recent posting to Zone 5, FRC, which comprises Edo, Delta, and Anambra states, he deemed it necessary to visit the Esama of Benin, Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osawari Benedion, whom he said has distinguished himself in all spheres of human endeavor and deserves to be honored. The visit, he said, was to tap from his wealth of experience.
I don't think there's anybody in Nigeria today that knows the history of Nigeria that will tell you they don't know who the Esama is. Like I jokingly told him, so when you see Okada today, you are going to see the man, the place he comes from, where they are calling this Okada nationwide.
The Esama of Benin, an honorary Romanian consul to Edo and Delta States of Nigeria, His Excellency Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osawari Benedion, commended the zonal commander for his kind gesture and prayed that his tenure in office will be a rewarding one.
And when we have a good relationship with the road safety, so happy you are growing. So the natural have relationship I'll be having with you. So at your home, you can't buy that the first time telling you. So don't hesitate. Anything that's put your face, let me know.
The Benin zone of the Federal Road Safety Corps is officially referred to as RS5 HQ Benin, or simply Zone 5, and is located at Ishagure Way off Kilometer 6 Saple Road, Benin City, Edo State. It oversees operations in Edo, Delta, and Anambra states. From Benin, Pius Nsowo, ITV News.
Away from that now, the Edo State government has handed down a 7-day ultimatum to 3 community youth leaders, also known as Okaigeles, to appear before the Special Securities Court codename Operation Flush Out Courtesan and Kidnappers. over a recent resurgence of court-related activities in Benin City. The ultimatum is for them to appear before the security outfits in Government House to clear themselves of any complicity in the recent court killings across the state. Government House correspondent Kingsley Uchegbu has the details.
Following recent court killings in some parts of Benin City, a special security squad led by the principal security officer to the Edo State Governor, Saturday Oko, carried out a series of raids which led to the arrest of some suspected cultists at Amagba community in Oredo and Obage community in Ikpoboka local government areas. The Okagele of Obazabon, Innocent Okonze, who is alleged to be a member of the Black House Confraternity, is currently in custody. The squad, after a raid at Amagba community, arrested 2 suspects who confessed to be members of the Black House Confraternity. Spokesperson of the squad, Eric Borenwata, explained that preliminary investigations linked the Okageles and 5 others who escaped during the raid to recent court killings.
The Okagele of Obage community, Dada is to report himself to the office of the Special Security Squad. The Okagele of Ofumegbe is also given 7 days to report himself. The Okagele of Ama community is also given 7 days to report himself. The following people have been declared wanted in Edo State: Enayas, Koko, Amani, Sparrow, and Dada. And we are appealing to members of the community, wherever you see these individuals, please call the nearest security operative.
Nawata explained that the Okagele of Obazabon community, Innocent Okonze, was arrested after weapons and live ammunition were found in a Highlander Jeep driven by the community's chief security officer, Mr. Gospower Obaiwana. Secretary of the Special Security Squad, John Izegagbe, reiterated the mandate of Governor Bolo to ensure a court-free state through more arrests and prosecutions as investigations continue.
Are doing further arrests, and those persons they just mentioned that they are saying they should come for their own good. They should come, otherwise they will still face the route of declared wanted.
One of the suspects confessed to be an internet fraudster but denied his involvement in the recent killings.
I'm a member of MPN, sir. Aye.
From Benin, Kingsley Uchegbu, ITV News.
In the meantime, fresh concerns have been raised over the resurgence of court-related killings in parts of Benin City, following recent security raids that have thrown community youth leaders into the center of investigations by the Edo State government through its Special Security Task Force. The developments which led to the issuance of a 7-day ultimatum to 3 youth leaders, also known as Okaigeles, to report themselves for questioning, as well as the arrest of several suspected court members, has renewed calls of safety by residents. Crime correspondent Jolade Ojo reports.
For several months, Benin City appeared to have moved past the menace of cult-related violence following sustained raids and the arrest of suspected perpetrators by security agencies. However, there are growing indications of a resurgence as several court-related killings have been recorded from the 13th of February to date. Of particular concern to residents is the alleged link of some community youth leaders known as Okaigele to these clashes. Among them is the Okaigele of Obazabon community, who is currently in custody alongside other arrested suspects, as well as the Okaigeles of Obage, Ofumegbe, and Ara communities, who have been called for questioning by the Edo State government. Some Benin City residents expressed dismay over the resurgence of a crisis they believed had been laid to rest, calling on government and security agencies to intensify their focus at the community level. They insist that all suspects arrested or declared wanted must be thoroughly investigated and duly prosecuted to nip the situation in the bud.
We are not really happy in what has been going on in Edo State. So area of killing, courtesan and other violence is condemned. Whosoever that is caught for killing or practicing courtesan should be held responsible.
We were extremely ecstatic and exhilarated that court-related killing are a thing of the past until these recent killings. I want this opportunity to appeal to the authorities to beam their searchlights on the communities, get all of them arrested so that it will serve as deterrent to other unscrupulous elements.
It's actually very, very unfortunate and sad that in this 21st century, when people are thinking of innovative ways to make their lives better, some are still indulging in cultism. It's very appalling.
We are not safe at all. Anybody that is involved should be properly handled. Measures should just be put in place for them to be punished.
The president says they hope sustained security efforts will restore peace. From Benin, Jola Diojo, ITV News.
And moving on now, protesters on Tuesday returned to the National Assembly Complex, Abuja. Demand that real-time electronic transmission of election results to be made mandatory under the Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2026. Augustine Innocent, who monitored the protests, reports that the protesters argued that full transparency requires mandatory real-time e-transmission.
These were the opposition lawmakers on Tuesday at the National Assembly, strongly opposing Section 60, Subsection 3 of the Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2026, which provided for the electronic transmission of election results, but with a clause that says the Form AC8A shall remain the primary source.
Now, you see them? You see them?
That was the scene Tuesday as men of the Nigerian police fired multiple rounds of tear gas canisters on protesters who tried to march through the gates into the National Assembly complex in Abuja.
People impose themselves on us through godfathers and money. We want to change the narrative. We want to take away the Almajiris from the streets. We don't want them to be using our people to recruit Boko Haram and shout Allahu Akbar when they are slaughtering people.
The scene tensed as determined protesters were dancing and chanting different slogans thronged the main entrance of the National Assembly, with placards reading several inscriptions such as Nigeria deserve electoral integrity, investigate the 2023 glitch, Akpabio e-transmission is a must, 98% network coverage. The demonstrators marched from the Federal Secretariat to the main entrance of the National Assembly.
Yes! Nigeria is ours! Yes! The office of the citizen is greater than the office of the president! Yes!
The protest, tag Occupy the National Assembly, was organized by Civil Society Coalition and other pro-democracy groups over the Senate's removal of the phrase real-time provision on the electronic transmission of election results. They demand the complete elimination of manual coalition to prevent manipulation during results compilation. From the National Assembly 3-arm zone, Augustine Innocent, Abuja, ITV News.
The senator representing Edo South Senatorial District, Neda Imaswe, has described independent television and radio as an objective and people-oriented media organization. This is as the senator appealed to Nigerians to trust the 10th Senate to set aside personal interest and work in the interest of the citizens. National Assembly correspondent Charity Tako reports that the senator stated this in an interview with ITV Abuja.
The tradition of appreciating clients has been the hallmark of independent television and radio for years. One of the recipients of this appreciation is the senator representing Edo South in the 10th Senate, Neda Imasuen. This senator praised ITV and radio for consistently being on the side of the people.
Thank you for what you do for Edo State, my constituent, which is Edo South Senatorial District, and indeed Nigeria at large, for the reportage and your sense of reporting, which is very objective and newsworthy.
Speaking on the current Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2026, Senator Neda noted that there has been a misunderstanding between the National Assembly and the people on the subject matter.
In those areas where we are not able to transmit, do we cancel the election completely? Will their result count or will it not count? That is the issue. And we don't believe that any section or segment of the country should be disenfranchised because of lack of connectivity. And so the Senate in its wisdom went further to say that in those circumstances where connectivity does not allow transmitter, that the electoral officer will collect, announce, enter into from EC8A, he signs, All the agents sign, security officers there signs. Each of them are given copies of this result, and then it becomes the method of announcing or collating the result.
On the dividends of democracy for his people, Senator Neda outlined some of his achievements, including youth empowerment and providing scholarships for the indigent, among others.
In Orion, there's a Rokin village. We are also done 2-kilometer routes, but halfway it didn't get to the main express road. Again, FEMA is attending to it now. We've also put it back for them to continue and finish the road. By the time they are done, we would have done 3.1 or 3.2 kilometers.
From Abuja, Charity Tanko, ITV News.
And with that story, we end the news tonight on Independent Television. My name is Evan Sunokugi. Do have a beautiful night rest.
ITV, certainly the best.